Hi, I'm Republican Latina here with this beautiful Helen that follows me. I am honored that we not only met in this historic day, women for Trump, Hispanics for Trump, Latinos for Trump, and we have a bright future as women. We are the future of this country. We know what a woman is, we defend women, and we're all for Papi Trump.
Viva Trump.
Viva Trump, si se pudo.
The Latinos that voted for Trump because of the economy. I'm sorry, I tried. How's it going? ¿Cómo les va? Hold on. Like, seriously, have you made more money?
Today's my last day right here in the United States. After 20 years.
The truth is, we basically just reelected Hitler, and I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe. My husband isn't safe, and I don't like it.
It's time to go. Oh.
Really hopeful that everything goes easily at the airport and that nothing scary happens.
Don't get me wrong, I'm very happy. I'm going to my country, I'm going to Mexico. I'm bringing my wife with me.
And I'm talking scary on our end. I'm not scared at all of getting to Mexico. I'm actually really, really looking forward to being somewhere that I feel safe for my husband.
I'm going to get to see my family, my sisters, after 20 years.
I think it's truly shocking that the United States of America feels like one of the least safe places in the world. This is a good life for us. We're going to have a great life. Like, we're about to live in Claudia Sheinbaum territory. That sounds exciting, man.
I'm just going to miss this place.
I'm super annoyed that the things going on in the world are playing on any level in the plans of our future, because I do think that it's just putting such a damper on something that we could be very positive and excited about.
You know, mi gente, one of the key survival premises of whiteness has always been that no minority person should ever be allowed to shine beyond white supremacists' imposed limitations, because according to the beliefs of whiteness, no minority person could possibly be smarter and more capable than any member of whiteness on their own. White supremacy has always known that if the majority of the population ever stopped believing this lie, it might run the risk of losing its self-giving powers to continue to force everyone outside of the exclusivity of whiteness to bow down in submission and compliance to all of its bullshit demands. That's where the term assimilate or we send you away comes from today. Forced assimilation is white supremacy's way of controlling how far anyone outside of whiteness could go without making whiteness look insignificant or inferior. The fate of whiteness depends on the maintenance of this premise. In fact, this is precisely why the white supremacy of this nation has made Trump its king and savior, even at the expense of our own constitutional laws and afforded freedoms that it's supposed to provide. Why? Because when Obama became president, his undeniable superior intellect and powerful presence was putting white supremacist mediocrity at risk of being exposed as the fraud that it has always been, and thereby also becoming powerless. So as a result, they needed a savior exactly like Trump, a mediocre reality TV showman who has pretty effectively pretended his entire lifetime to be superior to everyone else, even though he's nothing more than a fucking fraud. You see, mi gente, when Obama took such position of power and visibility, white supremacy felt obligated then to prove to the entire world that even one of its most mediocre members could be better than Obama in order to stay alive. White supremacy also needed to keep convincing all of its mediocre, deplorable bigots just so that they could keep fighting on its behalf, that they were still far superior to everyone else in spite of the threat that Obama was presenting to them. But there was a catch though. In order to keep these mediocre bigots fighting, white supremacy will also need a leader that will inspire them to do so. A leader they could relate with and make them feel to be one of them. And what a better choice to lead a large amount of bigots and mediocre huelebichos than someone whose entire lifetime has been spent at being loud and proud of his own bigotry and mediocrity. White supremacy needed someone who will make its members proud of their bigotry and mediocrity. In Trump, white supremacy found its fucking champion.
Malinche, that's what Mexicans have been calling their traitors for centuries. But I've never heard this word. I took many Chicano studies classes in college and never heard this story, which then made me fall into a deep rabbit hole, which I got out of there crying. So let me tell you a little bit about it. Her name was Malinche, and she was Nahuatl, or Aztec. She was traded at a young age into slavery and ended up in the Mayan region. She became an essential interpreter, speaking both Aztec, Mayan, and later learning Spanish. She was given to Hernán Cortés as part of a tribute in 1519 after the Spanish defeated the Mayans. She then became a crucial role in strategizing and negotiating with the Aztecs, which then led to their downfall. A lot of people called her a traitor, but was she a traitor or was she just surviving? Her name became a symbol of betrayal. The word malinchista is still used today to describe someone who favors foreign culture over their own. Which brings us back to the Latinos for Trumps. We know that Latinos have been trying to assimilate to white culture as a survival mechanism. But that's not gonna take you anywhere. No matter how much you try to assimilate to whiteness, you'll never be one of them.
For MAGA Latinos who voted for Trump that all of a sudden are realizing that their mixed status family members are in jeopardy, I'm going to say this once and once only. If you support a clown, you get a trick.
Folks, welcome to the channel. I am Fikazo. Thank you for clicking on this video. Now, Latinos for Trump got the harshest wake-up call, and they're finally realizing what we've been telling them. They thought wearing a MAGA hat made them one of them. They thought their loyalty to DT will buy them acceptance. Instead, ICE is pulling them over, and their spouses are being deported, mostly Cubans and Venezuelans, for Trump, who overwhelmingly voted for him and are now banned from entering the United States. No matter how many you try, you will never be accepted. So face that deportation. Listen, these people, they trust someone who never gave them, any chance. So he decided to deport them, and he told them on the first day that he would deport millions of people, but they never listened. For them, they did what? Latinos for who? Latinos for who? So that is what happened to them, and they find themselves in a tricky situation where they can never even turn it. So they are there, some are being deported, and their families are being deported. They're separated from their spouse, from their children, because of their choices, man. It's really something very, very hard to understand in this generation. So people right now, I don't know how they are not informed, because people tell them that you guys, you have to be careful because the things that are happening, someone is tricking you. You better be careful of what you're doing. Guys, let me not take much of your time. Let's watch this video together. I'll come back with my commentary. Please stay to the end of the video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up.
Latinos for Trump. Specifically, Miami Cubans for Trump. Bring your ass. You bitches on my docket today. Y'all are the definition of political pygmies. You're so eager, like ready, willing, and fucking able to go from one dictator to the fucking next. Now, I know y'all not systematically accustomed to freedom, but trust me, it's a good thing. Now, when it comes to you white presenting Cubans, I can understand, whether it be you naturally look that way or, you got the work done. I can understand your delusion in terms of, having proximity to whiteness and thinking that you're going to get a seat at the table. And while you may get a seat, it is with the expressed understanding that the moment you act familiar, them envelopians gonna put you in your place quick, fast, and in a motherfucking hurry by letting you know that you're simply a guest. But again, you look the part, so I can understand. But it's you Celia Cruz looking motherfuckers that blow me. Have you niggas looked in a fucking mirror? Like, let's keep it a fucking Goya bean in this bitch. The closest you're getting to a seat at the table is looking at that motherfucker through the window while you cutting the grass. Like, it is what the fuck it is. But since y'all think y'all got it like that, let's try a little experiment. When ICE roll up to collect you niggas, Elian Gonzalez style, I want you to look them square in the face And I want you to say these 5 words to them. I know black like Cuban. And let me know how the fuck it goes. Send me a postcard with Fidel on the fucking front. And when they send you back home, I hope you can't take shit with you but your fucking MAGA merch. As a permanent reminder that the president you voted for is the same president that sent you fucking packing. For decades, we've been trying to give y'all a wake-up call. I bet now you niggas wish you would have picked up the phone.
I have worked in immigration for the last, about 9 years. And I can never support Trump because of his inhumane immigration policies, point blank, period. I don't care if he has the potential to improve the economy. To me, the economy is not the main concern. I care more about the way human beings are being treated, specifically immigrants coming into the United States. I've worked in immigration law under the Obama administration, the first Trump administration, the Biden administration, and now under Trump's second term. You know what Obama did? He created DACA. You know what the first Trump administration did? Separated children from their mothers at the border. Babies. The Trump administration got sued. And to this day, there's how many, 100,000 kids still missing, unaccounted for, that have yet to be reunited with their mother? And the Biden administration did establish some hurdles for asylum seekers, absolutely. However, the general vibe in the immigration field under Biden it had a much more humanitarian approach to it. Specifically with DHS being more amenable to dismissing cases. Now it's the complete opposite. The immigration vibe under Trump is hostile, literally hostile. We had a client where we emailed DHS asking them if they would be willing to dismiss our client's case. She has been here over 10 years, has 3 kids that are United States citizen, minor children. She's a single parent, their primary breadwinner. She has no criminal record. She's not an enforcement priority. If they would just be willing to throw her case out. On June 18, DHS says, absolutely, we agree. She's not an enforcement priority. We will be willing to dismiss her case. By the time the office reopened Tuesday, January 21st, we got another email from DHS saying, sorry, we can no longer offer PD and dismiss this case. The enforcement priorities have changed. So you're telling me that under the Trump administration, anyone who is undocumented is an enforcement priority. Even a mother who has no criminal record, who has lived over 10 years in the United States, has 3 minor United States citizen children. She's an enforcement priority. She has to...
Okay, so even though I'm feeling very defeated, as many women are feeling today, I still wanted to hop on here and make a quick video because I don't know what's worse, the fact that this man is reelected. I'm having deja vu in the worst way back to 2016 and just experiencing everything that I experienced back then, but 10 times worse because we all know he is beyond unpredictable. So there's that. But I also just really quick wanted to address, because I think what's even worse, especially as a Latina, is the fact that my people were the ones that voted this man in, and predominantly Latino men, overwhelming Latino men. So yeah, but I just wanted to point 2 things out, because a lot of people are shocked by this, and a lot of Latinos or Latina women specifically were not shocked at all, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because again, no matter what background, whether you're Dominican, Venezuelan, Mexican, whatever the fuck, we all know that Latino culture has a lot of flaws, and one of the biggest flaws being misogyny and machismo, more in some cultures than others, but it still is very much alive. So there's that. And then aside from that, there is this proximity to whiteness that Latinos always want. It's the acceptance. And mind you, a lot of Latinos, there's certain people that are white passing, so they look gringo. And I mean, shit, even my own dad being one of those people. My dad definitely looks white American until he speaks and has, you know, his Venezuelan accent and stuff like that. But yeah, so there's people that look white, so they want to be, especially over time as they become US citizens and are more assimilated to like US culture, you are constantly chasing that acceptance from white people. So those are the two major, and again, these things are very internalized, so of course nobody's about to sit here and verbally say that those are the reasons, but I'm telling you those are the reasons.
Welcome once again. So now what I'm about to say, it's about reality. We are not looking on the left or on the right. It's about reality, about what happens when you sell your soul to a movement that never saw you as one of them. Okay, in the first place, remember, these people, they thought they're gonna be one of them. But you guys, remember, you are not one of them. You are not one of them. So you thought you're gonna be one of them so that they're gonna have favor on you, but you guys, you become like the same, like other people. So you're not one of them. That's the thing you have to know first, because the guy, what he wanted is your vote. So you gave him the vote and he deported you, man. So we're talking about Latinos for Trump. The one who shouted, build the wall, thinking it didn't apply to them. The one who thought waving red hats and shouting MAGA would make them only white Americans, which is not really right. Now, the ICE isn't checking the hearts nowadays. ICE is checking the documents, papers. Show your papers. Show that you have the rights to be here. Man, things are really crazy. And now people who thought they were safe are finding out just how wrong they were. So these are Latinos, man. It's very hard to understand. So a lot of Cubans, Venezuelans, and some Central American immigrants supported DT because they hated socialism. Yeah. They thought DT was a strong man who would protect them from kind of government they ran away from. So it means they thought, oh, this is going to be our country, so let's vote someone who is going to be different from our people. Okay. Now, they bought the dream that being a good immigrant meant the system would embrace them. They showed up at rallies. They posted DT flags in front of their homes. They believed loyalty would equal protection, which is not right. But loyalty to DT is one-way street. Because the end, it was never about the policy. It was always about purity. Yeah. And these people, they weren't part of that picture. But they went ahead and voted against their own interests. And now their community is facing the reality. Now, they're coming out and say it's betrayal. The guy have betrayed us. We've never thought he'll do things like this. We voted for him, but he's not delivering. He should deliver. No way. There's no betrayal here. Okay, it's happening. ICE is pulling over Latinos drivers. No criminal record, no threat, just a name and a face that looks foreign. Spouses, we've seen spouses being deported. People who voted for him are now banned from re-entering the state. And families who thought they had made it are getting ripped apart. And it's hitting hard, especially in Cubans and Venezuelan community. It's really, it's hitting them hard. These were Trump strongholds. They were people who believed, and now they are saying, I never thought it would have happened to us. But I'm a citizen and I supported him. Yes, agree that you supported him. It's okay. And, what can we do? We have the guy here for 4 years. Maybe you're going to come back after those 4 years, which is quite difficult, So in the system, you've never, you were never one of them. You were temporarily, okay? So instead of supporting the guy who gave you that temporarily, you went ahead and, betrayed. You betrayed. So that's what's happening to you guys. Which is what you're not supposed to do. You should have considered the guy who gave you chance to be at least temporary. But the guy you trusted have never even gave you temporary. He's chasing you out. He's chasing you away. Man, so the finding out is real for this Latinos for Trump. I'm sorry for those people, those Latinos who didn't have anything to do with this. I'm sorry for them because right now they are being separated with their families because of their fellows. So yeah, because those Latinos are the one who voted against their own interest. So let me say it clearly: you cannot vote your way into let's call it you see, you want to be American, okay, but you cannot vote your way into being American. Okay, let's say you thought you're gonna be like one of them. I don't want to mention that thing because of you know what I mean. So you cannot MAGA hat your way into acceptance. Yes, wearing a MAGA hat doesn't mean you accepted. What I thought you might be, maybe you were used, but you're not accepted. You cannot cheer for policies that hurt others and expect to be exempt when your name is next on the list. This is the real FAFO moment, and Latinos have to face the reality. You thought aligning with the racism made you immune from it, but you're not an exception. You were just next. So you should have at least considered and think about your community, about your families, because man, they were here for good life, good pasture. They move out from their countries with a reason. So you guys, the community should have came together and you built that strong community as the way you are, not want to be like others. You understand what people have been telling you to be careful, okay? You may come out and say, oh, I don't regret. Really, it's up to you. It's up to you. You may not regret today, but maybe tomorrow, okay? Maybe you never regret. I don't know. So, you are never going to be accepted. I've told you that. And you are just being used. The guy have used you to get in power. And he have never considered you like someone, like a stepping stone. Because you guys, you are the one who voted him. You gave him you are like a stepping stone for him to go up. Okay. So, you are never going to be accepted. You are just being used. So, this is a chance for you to wake up. Okay, don't double down. Don't act surprised. Don't pretend this came out of nowhere. Start fighting for the people you turned your back on. Start fighting for immigrants. Start fighting for justice, not just for your own family, but for all of us. Because the system doesn't care who you voted for. It cares whether it can control you. And when it doesn't done, using you, it will come for you too. So that's what happened to them. There is time for correction, but you guys, we have 4 years that is going to be very bad on some of the people. So, man, it is what it is. That's what happens, So, you guys, what I can say, it's okay. You will be deported or you may even get a chance to stay. But what you have to know is better you build your community instead for like going on the other side, okay? So it's better you build that community because it will be the one to help you. And it's better to consider someone who supported you and don't betray, because so the guy gave you opportunities, but in the end, you've thrown away that opportunity. All right, like, share, and subscribe for more videos. I am Fikazo. I'll see you in the next one.